Hello, and thank you for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Alessandra Young.
And I'm Nathan Brennan. In this edition of the Newsfeed, we will bring you stories making headlines at Virginia Tech and in the New River Valley. In the first half of our newscast, we will look specifically at stories related to Virginia Tech campus and community.
And in the second half of the show, we turn our attention to the news around the New River Valley area. First, Virginia Tech news. With Virginia Tech's War Memorial Gym closing for the rest of the school year for renovations, many athletes and sports clubs will not have space to practice. Hundreds of athletes who relied on War Memorial Gym for practice space now have to look for alternatives. However, the athletic department is looking at a creative solution to help solve this problem. Newsfeed reporter Ada Welford tells us more in this story.
War Memorial Gym is officially closing on December 12th for renovations. War's closing will displace many sports clubs and intramural teams. Bryn Burns, a member of the dance team organization, explains how War's closing will affect them.
It just takes away one of the places that we can practice on campus. So there is another dance studio on campus, and there's also space in McComas, but those are really hard to reserve.
One potential solution to this problem the athletic department is looking at is to transform these tennis courts into a workout space exclusively for sports clubs. According to the athletic department, they have not officially confirmed turning the tennis courts into a temporary workout space, but many clubs are preparing for the move. Katie Curry, a member of the War Aquatics team, explains how clubs are preparing for War's closing.
Oh yeah, they're going to be in the big bubble that they're putting over the tennis courts, and they were just in here too, talking about the goals and how they're moving them or something. I don't know. They asked me to help them lift it down.
Curry also explains how the closing will affect regular patrons.
These swimmers were just discussing it actually, how they now are going to have to start swimming more and how it's affecting it because they're all professors and they're like, it's so much closer because our offices are right here and now we're going to have to go up to the Gomez.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Ada Welford.
Two students will finally be able to park with a peace of mind. Collegiate Suite staff have found the answers they've been looking for a close sum of the recent car break-in cases. The two cases have been solved in the community after investigation by both the police and leasing staff came to a close. One resident found her significant other responsible for the missing valuables and items from her vehicle after he admitted it through text messages.
Eventually it came out that it was her boyfriend breaking into her car, and apparently they had had a really extreme argument and he was using various methods to break into the car every night to try to steal small things from her and kind of scare her from the argument they had.
Another resident found her roommate was responsible for the break-ins after she stumbled upon her missing items hidden in their bedroom. She reported it to collegiate staff who eventually received confession for the stolen items. The resident has agreed not to press charges of all of her belongings are returned. Collegiate Suite staff is still working to get answers for the remainder of the reports.
Sports rivalries can be tough, especially in college sports. As we all know, the Virginia Tech Hokies ended their 15-year winning streak against in-state rivals, the University of Virginia Cavaliers, recently. This has left not only students, but people in the community devastated that the Hokies' biggest rival were able to take the Commonwealth Cup from them. Not only that, but that Bud Foster's last game ever ended with a loss to UVA. But many people are hopeful that the Cavaliers will not hold the cup in their hands for that long. New River Valley resident Seth Pace was born and raised a Hokie. He's confident that the cup will once again bleed maroon and orange.
I think moving forward that we will definitely, I think we still have the upper hand in recruiting and the whole state of Virginia football kind of trophy. Even though we don't have the Commonwealth Cup, we still got it.
The Hokies still have their pride regardless of a win or loss. Next year, the Commonwealth Cup could once again call Virginia Tech its home.
The natural beauty of Virginia Tech's campus is a point of pride for many Hokies. In order to help keep the natural flora healthy, Virginia Tech recently created a new position within its facilities department. Conservation and preservation are very important in the Virginia Tech community. To help aid these efforts on campus, Jamie King has hired as the school's first university arborist. Along with maintaining the health and well-being for over 10,000 trees on campus, King will also be responsible for building the university's arborist program from the ground up.
As the university arborist, I'm responsible for all of the trees on the campus and other Virginia Tech properties. So caring for the trees, reducing their risk, making them safe, healthy, and useful.
King graduated from Virginia Tech with a Bachelor of Science degree in Natural Resources Conservation, along with minors in Urban Forestry and Forestry. He began his career as a groundskeeper in Roanoke before working his way up to become their city arborist. Stay with us, there's more to come on this special edition of the newsfeed. Coming up, a look at some top stories in the New River Valley.
Just ahead, a look at how public schools in one New River Valley county are being recognized for their efforts in fighting childhood hunger. And Small Business Saturday was November 30th this year. We'll check in with a few local businesses to see whether or not it had an impact. Those stories and more after this break.
Hi everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that after 75 years, Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
My family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to this special edition of the newsfeed. I'm Alessandra Young.
And I'm Nathan Brennan. Now we turn our attention to news around the New River Valley. The results of Virginia's legislative elections last month could mean major changes for residents in the New River Valley and Virginians across the state. On November 5th, voters flooded the polls for both sides of the aisle, but it was the Democrats who took full control of the state Senate and House of Delegates for the first time since 1994. Virginia was seen by many as having potential to be flipped in this past election after a 25-year stretch of Republican control. This shift in power will bring up many things for debate, like if the Democrats will utilize questionable redistricting techniques previously used by the Republicans in power. The newly elected Democrats will be looking to push through new legislation at the start of the new year. Virginia Tech political science professor Karen Holt believes this will ruffle some Republican feathers.
What will be interesting going into 2020 is that Republicans will certainly, and they've already started this, be complaining loudly about many things that the Democrats may try to do in the state legislature that then will be signed into law by the Democratic governor.
This will be important for the 2020 races, including the presidential election, the race for the U.S. Senator in Virginia, and all the U.S. House seats. As proven with this past election, voter turnout is essential.
In Pulaski County, the public schools there recently won an award for school nutrition. With various nutrition programs implemented into schools' days, Pulaski County stands out. The Dorothy McAuliffe Award is given to schools around the state who are making an effort to end childhood hunger. In order to win an award like this, Pulaski County implements breakfast and summer meal programs. During the summer of 2019, Pulaski County served over 25,000 breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals to children when school was out. Kathleen Sadler, the Pulaski County Public Schools Nutrition Director, says students are always involved in this nutrition process.
We're also looking for new product. If there's a new menu item that we feel like will enhance the meal for either breakfast and lunch, we'll always try to taste test that with students and put it on the menu and gauge their response.
Along with menu changes, a fresh fruit and vegetable event is offered at 2 schools, including Chrysler Elementary. During the program, young students can learn from and engage with nutrition experts, as well as taste fruits and vegetables. All of these efforts work towards ending food insecurity with a focus in Pulaski County schools. Flu season is peaking earlier than normal this year. The CDC recently estimated that there have already been 1.7 million flu illnesses and 900 flu-related deaths in the United States.
CDC officials say the flu is currently at a widespread level in several states, which includes Virginia and this part of the state in the New River Valley. Luckily, it's not too late to take precautionary measures. There are a few crucial steps to be sure you don't get the flu, even in the winter season. Even though the season has changed, the flu is still very rampant in the New River Valley. Normally, the flu has fizzled out by the winter season, but according to WSLS News, the flu has been lethal this winter season. While covering a cough, not sharing drinks, and washing hands are good procedures, there's really only one way to prevent the flu.
You can do everything you can to avoid the public, wash your hands, everything else. Odds are you're probably going to run across something. The only thing that you can do to really safeguard yourself is get a flu shot, especially if you're elderly or immunodeficient. That's really what you need to do.
A common misconception is that during the winter season, it's too late to get a flu shot. But really, if you hop by your local pharmacy or local healthcare center, you can get a flu shot no matter the season. A few extra measures that aren't well known include staying hydrated, avoiding large crowds, and eating healthy. But remember, flu shots can be received in any season, wherever is most convenient. Already, over 200 people in the New River Valley have been treated for the flu in the winter season. Don't be one of those people, and be sure to use the most important measure and get your flu shot. Winter break is approaching for college students in the area from Virginia Tech to Radford University. It's a time students leave their campuses for several weeks and many do not return until the new year. So, how will local businesses be affected with the mass exit of students? Local businesses like Joe's Diner in Blacksburg have experienced the slower break from season for years. Adjusting to this time of year can pose challenges, but owner Travis Crawford says he knows how to help his employees. He recommends that they put away money they make during the busier season, like the week when students move in or during graduation, to help cover expenses in the later months. However, Crawford says the weeks of winter break are not as slow as most would think.
So Monday through Thursday, we actually do more business when the students are gone. Now we do lose it on our Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can definitely tell when the students are gone then. So.
Crawford further explained that he has a lot of loyal, local residents who frequent the diner. Some of them only come in when the students are gone, and they help make up for the loss of revenue.
Small Business Saturday ended on a high note recently. According to American Express, 110 million shoppers spent around $13.9 billion at independently owned businesses the day after Black Friday this year. And 58% of U.S. shoppers said they shopped or dined at more than just one local business. But how much of an impact did this make on small businesses in the New River Valley? Newsfeed reporter Mattia Muhar tells us more on the story.
Small Business Saturday is a part of a national initiative sandwiched between Black Friday and Cyber Monday that encourages consumers to support small businesses by shopping locally during the big kickoff weekend of the holiday shopping season.
Truthfully, Small Business Saturdays really keep us going because it shows, okay, people are paying attention to this. People do want to support local businesses, and so I think it really does help. It just helps the business.
For small downtown Blacksburg store, this holiday is essential for their revenue and survival. There's only around 20 small businesses still downtown, and the number is decreasing quickly. Stores such as 320 Rosemont are thankful that the Blacksburg representatives are helping them promote local businesses and keeping them alive.
Blacksburg is really lucky that we have like the Downtown Blacksburg Incorporated that helps us really reach out to the whole community and just advertise easier. But I think a lot of communities don't really have that luxury of having such an organized downtown.
Every time you pick up coffee from your local cafe, grab lunch at a local sandwich shop, or buy a new hat from a local store, you're making an impact in your community. In fact, every dollar spent in small businesses in the U.S., approximately 67 cents stay in the local community. I'm Mattia Muhar reporting.
That'll wrap up this special edition of the Newsfeed. A look at how stories making headlines in the New River Valley and at Virginia Tech.
The Newsfeed will be going on a hiatus for a few months, but we'll be returning in February with a new group of journalists and a new series of stories to keep you up to date about what's going on with Virginia Tech in the New River Valley.
While we're away, if you have a story idea, send them our way. You can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, or send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alessandra Young.
And I'm Nathan Brennan. For all of us at the Newsfeed, we hope you have a safe and enjoyable holiday season.